Yo, what's good, my peoples? It's your boy Big Chris, aka the Countdown Animator, and I'm here to bring you another WWE RAW review. So tonight I'm reviewing WWE RAW for September 1st, 2014, and let's get into this bullshit. So WWE RAW September 1st, 2014, and you start off the show with what they introduced last week, which was the Chris Jericho highlight reel. Special guest being Randy Orton. You get Chris Jericho comes out, talks a little shit, does the "This is Raw's Jericho," tells Randy Orton that it's time to come out, and the Triple H music hits, and the Authority comes out. I do have to say I like this little scene of the Authority coming out and with all of them dressed in suits and stuff like that. I thought this was a good look for all of them. They get in the ring. That's mixed up pictures. There's supposed to be another picture there. Can't find it, so fuck it. So they get in the ring. You had Triple H and Chris Jericho start arguing back and forth with each other, talking about ties and other bullshit. Then Cena comes out and he argues with Triple H because Triple H basically said that Cena's not ready to have his title match and that he doesn't believe Cena's ready for it. So Cena comes out, says that he is. The other guys say that they want the title match because they're ready for it. Cena says if he doesn't get the title match, he'll sue. Then you get Roman Reigns who comes out and they're all standing in the ring wanting a title match and shit. And then, it was basically a 19-minute opening highlight reel segment that was all mediocre at best. I liked the way the Authority guys looked, but you had Jericho and Triple H arguing back and forth, Cena and Triple H arguing back and forth. The crowd was loving Seth Rollins because it was hometown. Randy Orton was boring. Roman Reigns was was just being a suave person himself, but really had nothing to say here. And the segment meant nothing just to try to get Cena over a little bit more and to do a triple threat, a 3-on-3 match at the end of the night. So I didn't really care for this segment at all. Next you get a segment, the only segment I care about, which was a match between your both mid-card champions, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, your IC and US champion, versus Miz, which is a new Hollywood gimmick, and Cesaro. So, also you had Damian Sandow, who's continually surprisingly playing as the Miz's stunt double, and he's still doing this like the third show in a row that he's still doing a stunt double thing, so they might stick this with him for a little bit. But you get a match between those four guys, and I thought the match was pretty chill. It was a lot of fun just watching these guys, just do their thing all around, play their characters up. The Miz and Ziggler was just really fun, just the way they play off each other. You had Cesaro, who did a little bit of stuff here, but he was kind of held back because of the other characters in here. Sheamus was really rough in this match. When he was hitting those beats to the chest, he did them like 15 times, and he was hitting them hard as shit, so I thought that was pretty chill. And then, just got everybody going at each other and stuff. Ziggler got a lot of pop in this match. The crowd was loving Ziggler and wanted him to get in the ring, so that was pretty cool. And also, the way the Miz is playing this character right now, man, it's beautiful. They're adding more and more stuff to this. They had a makeup chair on the outside, so when he needed time between the tags, he would go to the makeup chair and the girl would put makeup on him, and Sandow would give him water and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty fun to watch, and I thought that was a little nice thing to do. And the match basically ended up as the Miz was not trying to get hit. He switches in with Sandow. Sandow rips off his little clothes, has action, and runs into the ring, gets into it with with Ziggler. The ref tries to get him out, and Ziggler hits him with the zigzag. Then you get Miz runs in, hits him with the final crush, or whatever the fuck it's called. The final finale. I can't remember Miz's fucking finisher for nothing. But, hits him with the move, and that's the end. Miz picks up the win here. I thought it was a pretty fun match, and I thought the main thing that made this match for me was all the characters of the guys, and this was the only thing I really liked on the show. Next, you get a bunch of the Total Divas and Layla fight each other for a minute, and absolutely nothing here. Absolutely nothing. I feel sorry for Naomi because she has to be in this type of segments, but the chicks on Total Divas, so yeah. Next, you get a match that we've seen every show for the past few weeks. The World's Strongest Tag Team versus the Wyatts. They hype up the fact that they're a bunch of fat motherfuckers, basically. Supposed to be 1,400 pounds in the ring. They have the match. Wyatt's lose again, this time by DQ, because Rusev comes in and kicks Mark Henry, so they continue on that storyline. Nothing to this match, just a spot for Rusev and Mark Henry to interfere with each other. Next, you get Paul Heyman comes on mic, hypes up the match with Brock Lesnar and John Cena, says that Brock Lesnar is going to victimize Cena again. Basically, same thing. Not a great of a promo here, but, Paul Heyman does what Paul Heyman does, and he comes out pretty chill. You got a match between Swagger and Curtis Axel. You got Zeb Culture back this time, so that was pretty chill to see him back. He gets Swagger out of there in a couple minutes. Gets what's his name? Curtis Axel out of there in a couple minutes with the ankle lock taps. You get a little fun part with Bo Dallas at the end of that, and he comes out, brings out these three people, sits them on the stage, and he's asking them. He basically says that these people are the reason. These people are the people that Swagger let down. The first guy was a farmer who bet his whole farm down near on Swagger winning. I was like, who the fuck would bet on wrestling? Just that really. I think the absurdity of that was just funny in its own right. The next guy was somebody who was a tailor, and he was an immigrant, and he couldn't pass his immigration thing because Swagger lost. And the last one, son is now loving Putin because Swagger lost. I thought it wasn't great, but I thought it was funny for Bo Dallas, so it was what it was. Nothing too great out of this, but I'm kind of enjoying a few between those two. And this was the second only thing I liked on the show. It was three things on this 3-hour show that I liked, and there weren't even matches for the most part. One match and two end segments. That's it. So you got Swagger and Zeb looking back at that, and you got him saying, Bo, leave. So next you get a match between Titus O'Neil and Adam Rose, and you had the Bunny attack Heath Slater on the outside, which I'm not sure if this means Adam Rose is turning heel or not. And you had, but I think the Bunny attack Slater on the outside. And it's, I'm not gonna make any sense of this, but did any of the WWE even watch their Monday Night War thing? During the Monday Night War little TV little network thing, the basic reason why they were saying that WWE was failing is because they didn't know how to connect with their audience anymore. And the highlight of that not connecting was them bringing out the gobbledygooker out of where he busts out of the egg, and they're saying that the audience was hating this. So you think the audience is gonna love this? It's I don't know. This is how bad we need a WCW right now. If it wasn't for Ted Turner's bad business moves, just pure. Not knowing when to either hold back or whatever, we wouldn't have WWE in this shape right now, and they're in horrible shape right now. This was a horrible show. Next, you get Lana and Rusev who come out and cut a promo, and Lana's basically saying that shitting on Labor Day and talking about how Russia has the Knowledge Day and Americans are stupid because of Labor Day, basically. And she says that they suck. Then you get a match between Rusev and Zack Ryder. He squashes Zack Ryder. Henry comes out, stares down Rusev. Rusev leaves the ring. And you get Henry, who cuts a pretty chill promo. This is the third thing I liked on the show. The only things I liked on the show, where he basically cuts a promo telling Rusev that, don't think just because you haven't been pinned, he said undefeated, but because you haven't been pinned, that, I won't whip your ass, basically. And he's going to open up a third spot, international spot into the Hall of Pain for Rusev. So I like the promo from him. The match wasn't nothing, and hopefully we can get something good out of Henry and Rusev. And also, I like this poster. Whatever you call them, the little posters that the guys bring to the stadium or whatever. I'd rather be home watching Nitro, which I would rather be home watching Nitros that they put on the network. I would have rather watched these Nitros than fucking Raw. Tonight's Raw was really bad. This even made it worse when you had these segments that happened all night with Nikki Bella talking shit about Brie, saying how Brie basically fucked her over all her life, crashing a car that she got because she didn't have her license and shit, stealing her boyfriend, having her cheat on her test for her and then not giving her recognition for it. A bunch of bullshit with these little segments here. And it just goes to show, like, they gave all these time to the Bellas for I don't know what fucking reason. I don't know if it's because of Stephanie's in this now, and they bring them out for segments where they argue back and forth, and Stephanie basically says that she's going to give Nikki a title shot, and you get AJ Lee, who comes out and basically says that, I think I'm supposed to be the champion. I mean, the number one contender. It seems that y'all are not recognizing number one contenders right now, playing off the whole thing with John Cena and Triple H because of him not giving Cena his number one contendership, which also Cena was threatening to sue Triple H for that too. So that's another stupid thing. So yeah, I mean, AJ, they only brought AJ out on this and only mixed these two things up because you couldn't get Brie over as a babyface here at all, and you need a babyface in this feud that's going to get the crowd into it, and the crowd isn't into this feud at all. So you get AJ Lee come out and they try and get her into it, bring out Paige. Paige walks around with the championship. It's basically trying to get Nikki a title match. Nikki yells at Brie, tells her she needs to quit like she did, and bullshits with that. Brie pushes Nikki into Paige. AJ Lee picks up the belt, walks around, skips around with the belt, and Stephanie looks at her and tells her to give her the damn belt. They stare off with each other, and she finally gives her the belt, then smiles at her and leaves, and she gives the belt back to Paige, and Paige skips around. So, horrible segments. I would rather see Stephanie just involved with AJ and Paige and leave the fucking Bellas out of it. Let them give them the 2-minute segments. They're worth the 2-minute segments because they can't wrestle and they can't cut promos. AJ can cut a promo. Paige is getting better and she's not as bad as those two girls, and both of them can wrestle. If you want to put Stephanie in a feud, put them in that one. That's the one that actually can get some heat off of and get some fun out of. The other ones is just boring as hell and stupid as hell to watch. And that's enough about that. You get a tag team little thing where the Usos come out and one of the Usos is still selling the leg. Cena's not selling shit. The Uso just flew off the ring and fell down, and he's selling the leg for damn near 2 weeks now. Cena had a fucking brutal match and not selling a damn thing. So Jimmy Uso has a match with Goldust. The Usos attacked the Dust Brothers as they tried to apologize for what happened last week. They didn't take it as an apology. They just attacked them. And then you get a match between Jimmy and Goldust. The Usos and Stardust and them all have a fight on the outside. Then Goldust hits the final cut, picks up the win. They get the other Usos, beat them up on the outside, take the Uso with the injured leg, I think Jey Uso, and hit him with a chair on the leg and draw some more heel heat for the Dust Brothers. So, okay segment right here, nothing much to it, very average. And then you get your main event, which was Cena, Jericho, and Roman Reigns versus the Authority members in Rollins, Kane, and Randy Orton. You had Triple H and Stephanie on the outside, and they basically wanted to see if Cena was ready for his match and whether or not to give it to one of the other guys. So you basically got a match where Roman Reigns fought off a gang of guys at the beginning and got into it with them. Then you got Jericho, who did a lot of the fighting at the beginning. They didn't tag in Cena for a while. They were just between him and Jericho and them going against the heels and stuff. Jericho had a couple little nice spots in here. Just okay spots, as a matter of fact, let me say that. Did a bunch of finishers in the middle of the match and stuff, and then you get Cena, who finally gets tagged in, hits Kane with the F5, and does the "You Can't See Me" to Triple H. Then tags in Roman Reigns for I don't know why reason. I guess to kind of show that he doesn't need to impress anybody. He knows what he's doing or whatever. Kane gets hit with the spear. Roman Reigns picks up the win for the team. Then you get Cena, who goes into the face of Triple H. Rollins tries to attack Cena, but ends up getting the AA on the top of the table, announcer's table for his own rights or whatever. And that's how they end the show, with all the guys standing still on top of in the ring, and the baby face is going over for the night. Next week they're gonna have Michael Sams here, the gay player that was just let go from the Rams, the first gay person, openly gay person in the NFL. Supposedly they're trying to get him to come for next week. I'm not sure if they are, but if they're promoting it, they may get him. I don't know. There's Monday Night Football is back next week, so they're trying to find something to get into that. They also got a match between Randy Orton and Roman Reigns again, and also a steel cage match between Jericho and Bray Wyatt. So they're trying to fight off the whole Monday Night Football thing. So you could have did it with a good show tonight and lead into something next week. If I didn't have to do these reviews, I would not watch next week, to tell you the truth. I don't have to do the reviews, but if I didn't want to keep continuing, having fun with these reviews, I wouldn't do next week. But as far as this show goes, man, the only things I liked in all of these 3 hours was the first match with your mid card guys in Swagger. I mean, it's not Swagger, but your first match with Ziggler, Sheamus, Miz, Cesaro, and having Damian Sandow out there with them and playing up with all those characters. That was fun to watch. The Bo Dallas promo at the end, the Swaggers match, was fun to watch. It wasn't crazy good or anything, but I thought it was fun. And the promo with Mark Henry. That was it. You had only one backstage segment tonight, or two, but the one where they talk about with Mark Henry and Big Show, where they talk about the fact that, they're trying to be a tag team, but Mark Henry has to handle his business with Rusev first, so they're trying to play, trying to fade off that tag team thing and get into this match, which who in the hell knows where they're going with the whole tag team thing. I mean, I don't know, man. This was a D minus of a show. Damn near almost an F. It wasn't for those 3 segments. This was a bad show, worse than last week. Last week's was just a mediocre. This was bad. Fucking bunny segments and dumb diva segments. They can't get anything over, and this is something. I enjoy only one wrestling show right now, and that's NXT, which is run by Triple H. Not to keep this rant going, but Vince needs to go. I mean, Vince is this problem. You can most definitely tell this is Vince writing. You can most definitely tell this is Vince booking. All you got to do is go back, and now the Attitude Era stuff is up. And you probably got the old school Raw stuff a little bit before Attitude Era, so on the network. So you can go back and watch that bullshit, or you can just watch the Monday Night War features. And they in themselves say the reason why that the company was failing, and they're doing the exact same thing that they did right before the Attitude Era. If they don't have another type of era like the Attitude Era, WWE is going to be in some big trouble. They may not fail, but they will be a fucking what was the like arena football or something, where you get low attendance in half a roster, and you're basically scrounging to try to keep up. They gonna have to fix this, man. This was horrible tonight. This was very bad. So yeah, that was my review. Pretty quick and out. So yeah, thank you for watching, people. Hopefully, SmackDown, NXT, and if I do watch TNA, hopefully those are better. See you Friday. Peace.